So I finally broke down and bought a Danchee Ridgerock. I have been lusting over these things for so long. That epic articulation just blows my mind, and every time I see one in the hobby shop, I have to go and fondle it. But here I finally picked one up because Redcat Racing had these on sale, scratch and dent sale. I got it for 111 bucks, free shipping and no tax, ironically. So couldn't pass it up, finally got this thing. So I'm gonna power it up, take it through the trails, hit some rocks with it, and give you guys my driving impressions of it. So I'm pumped, let's get into it. Let's check this thing out real quick before we get going. So this is a true ready to run, comes with the transmitter, battery, charger, it's got your T-wrench, the typical suite of stuff that comes with the RTRs. Four-wheel steering, huge articulation. Look at this thing, man, this is my spirit animal right here. So it looks like the power button is underneath here on the chassis. Let's see if we can turn it on. So here I am out here with Ridgerock number 2. So the first one that I got had a faulty ESC, but Redcat was super quick in getting me a new one. So I'm back up and running here over at Crawler Heaven, our favorite spot. Now we're gonna turn this thing on, hopefully, and see if it runs and take it out and have some fun. Transmitter, ready to rock and roll. You don't get batteries with the transmitter, you do get the transmitter itself. You get your USB charger, some tools, spare parts, looks like some shock spacers in here. Get the 1500 milliamp lithium ion battery. One-piece Lexan body. Chassis and everything is all composite, and we got composite links, sliders. This thing is big. Seeing it in person, actually getting my hands on it, it's a lot bigger than I felt. I thought this was going to be kind of a contender with the UTB 18 Capra, but it's much, much bigger. And we got these big 2.2 plastic beadlock wheels. I think these are 4.9 or 5-inch tires on here. They feel pretty good. Compound's a little stiff. We'll see how they perform. So this is a 4-wheel steering rig right out of the box. This has the mode button here in the middle. That's how you toggle between your steering modes. It has your key up here. This is a motor on axle design. So we have 2 brushed motors, one at each axle here. Very cool. Got our steering servos on each axle as well. It did come with extra steering horns in the package. Power button is here on the skid plate on the chassis. MIDI. We got steering. All right, we're up and running. This is awesome. Now I'm excited. So to do the 4-wheel steering, we just toggle through the modes here. It's hard to see, but it lights up on the transmitter. So that's your opposite phase for real tight turning right there. Same phase for crab walking. You can do one more for rear steer only. And then back to front steer only. Steering feels okay, it's a little sluggish. Servos definitely feel a little underpowered, but for what it is, you know, again, I got to keep going back to my expectations here. Remember what I paid for it, which was less than an SCX 24. I'm excited nonetheless. I mean, look, this thing is just, look at it. I love it. It's so cool. Unbelievable out of the box articulation with this thing. Let's see how it does on the rocks and see if I can actually put that to use. So I'm going to load it up on the trailer. We're going to hit the trail and go have some fun. Here we are at base camp, just unloaded. Seeing it next to the high trail, the TRX4 high trail, kind of gives you a perspective of the size and just how big this thing really is. Almost needed a bigger trailer. But now we're here, let's go rock and roll, see how this thing does. Okay, here we go. I've been practicing a little bit, so I just did a quick run just to get acclimated. So now let's get into it. From a speed perspective, it's decent. Not a speed demon by any means, but it's plenty. Start off on this pretty challenging section. This is kind of like the class 1 section over here. Definitely felt like it could benefit from some better tires. The tires just have kind of that plasticky feel and sound to them, and they just seem to slip, not conform a lot, but they do okay. There's that articulation right there. One things I'm noticing is that it seems like sometimes the front and rear motors are out of sync. I'll see the front start to engage and the rear won't. Like that right there. There's that articulation I was looking for right there. So cool. I fell off and had to start over here. So as I was saying, the motors seem to be out of sync sometimes. I'll try the crab walk. I've been mostly using it in opposite phase. See if we can crab walk up this. There we go. Oh no, hang on. So I had to do a hand of God action there. So another thing I'm noticing is that sometimes it just quits on me. When I really stress it out, it just turns off. So there we go. Oh no. Okay, I made it off camera. It's a lot harder doing this one-handed. It's that pushing right off the side there. I did bring some extra tires. I'm going to try some J-Concept ruptures. See if that'll help. There we go. We're going to recover there. Got a decent drag brake. You know, that's letting off the throttle completely. It does okay. I'm in trouble here. But the four-wheel steering is able to help this thing out significantly. It's just big. In its sheer size, it's tough to navigate these tricky sections, but the four-wheel steering does work well. The shocks feel a little stiff. You see the body sits up really high. Being able to get that ride height down I think would help this thing out a lot, but it does feel pretty planted. Slow crawl is decent. It's got a nice smooth power band. It engages nice and slow. Feels very linear. It's not abrupt off the bottom. It's another tough section here. That's pretty good right there. That's a tough one. The 10th scale struggle there. Then we can go across Bicycle Bridge here. There, get that thing twisted up. There it is. Still just leaving it in opposite phase for the most part, doing this one-handed. It's doing pretty good. So much clearance underneath this thing. You don't have drive shafts in there. You've just got the belly once you clear the axles, which are pretty high because of the big tires. So it's able to get over some pretty aggressive terrain. Oh, there we go. The thing's twisted there. Nice. It navigated that pretty well. Again, decent drag brake there, helping me out on this descent. This is as far as I got on my trial run, so now we're in virgin territory here. This is a really gnarly section right here, coming up into a really extreme vertical. Just having a hard time getting positioned here. There we go. I think I got it. Nope, I'm pushing off to the side. Still can't get a good line up to this thing. Whoa! A little more hand of God action just to get it up to the top. I was going to use my whole battery trying to get situated and make that line, but just couldn't stick it. The tires wouldn't grab and give me a good line up there. I feel like I'm stressing this thing out pretty bad. This is a gnarly course, and it's handled it pretty well. I gotta say, I'm impressed with how well this thing is done. Side hill's decent. Look at the side hill on that thing. For 110 bucks, 140 bucks full retail, this thing's pretty impressive. I'm gonna throw the J Concepts tires on it. We'll see how it does. So scratch that. I got these J Concepts on the Vanquish wheels, and I forgot to attach the extra hubs to them. So I'm not gonna break the wheels down. I just don't have a whole lot of time today, which is a bummer. But next video, we'll try some new tires and wheels on this thing. Coming over here to more of the Class 2 side of the course. Thing with this, see what we can really do to stress this thing out. I am having a lot of fun with it, I gotta say. I definitely feel like it is well worth the price tag. Whoa! Look at this thing. Wow! Very surprised. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. It's gonna do it. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, look, that's 90 degrees on that thing. Yep, I'm happy with it right there. That's all I wanted out of this thing, and it just totally delivered. So cool. It's tricky over here just because of the size of this thing to get lined up for some of these sections. Oh man. I find that the drag brake in reverse seems to fail pretty quickly. Not really fail, but it's not aggressive enough, and I seem to roll backwards a lot sooner than I would like. Oh, there's that articulation again. Man, it's so good. I could see with some real minor upgrades on this thing, it could be really effective. Yeah, put some good tires and wheels on it, some upgraded servos. Maybe some motors, I don't know. The motors feel okay, it just feels limited by the other factors. But again, that was a pretty gnarly section right there. Alright guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I've had a lot of fun with this truck, the Danchee Ridgerock. I got it on an open box sale for 111 bucks, but it retails for 140. I think you get crazy value out of this thing. For a beginner, this would be a great gateway drug into the RC crawling world. It's easy to use. It's got great features like those super long shocks, four-wheel steering, the big tires, and aggressive buggy styling. So it's just an all-around cool rig, and I really am surprised by how well it performs right out of the box. It does have its quirks, you know, steering's a little sluggish, could use some new tires, but hey, it's 140 bucks. 10th scale, four-wheel steering, ready to run rock crawler. Super, super fun. I can't wait to get this in Axel's hands to see what he thinks. I'll probably buy a couple more just to have them on hand for his friends to use and for Christmas presents. I think this is going to be a great way to get younger drivers, newer drivers into the hobby. So overall, I'm really impressed. Stay tuned as I'm going to continue to work on this thing, throw some new tires on it. I know there's some hacks out there online that you can get more performance out of it. So I'm going to be exploring those. I like it enough to keep it. I'm having a blast. I'm going to keep driving it and having more fun. So let me know what you think of the Ridgerock if you want to see me build this thing out and see what we can get out of it. Maybe we can do a budget crawler build versus like the UTB18 fully built Capra. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. And as always, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Thanks for hanging out with me on this beautiful day. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.